Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Timian map for you here. I'm using Russia, my opponent's using Germany. Always a good matchup. I think Germany's probably the strongest of the allied factions when you get them fully teched up to the highest tech level. The chrono tanks, they are good, and the way they teleport onto infantry and you can squash large groups, and the advanced chronosphere where you can teleport 13 vehicles at once, that's really effective. So I think that kind of makes Germany probably the best allied faction strength-wise once they're fully leveled up. But I prefer France because they have access to the fake buildings straight away. Plus, I like the phase transport. I like that it's really good for Tanya. But it's primarily what I use the phase transport for. On the rare occasions I do use it is as a spotter for my artillery and things like that, because it's phased. It's an invisible unit. So to use it as a spotter, the enemy can't see it if you keep it off at the right distance to the side. It can spot for your artillery, and the enemy don't know that they're actually, that you can actually see them. So I find it's very useful as a spotter. My rifleman that I sent this way, he bumped straight into this lot, sadly. So he didn't get anywhere. But we're just kept sending our engineers to the second oil derrick each. But yeah, I do, Germany, I do count them as probably the strongest allied faction once they're teched up. And the Soviets are good, and the Tesla units are excellent. The Russians, they are my favourite faction, as I've said before. So I do count it as one of my favourite matchups, Germany v Russia. You know, if you ever get into a long game and there's some tech assets used, you can usually count on a fairly entertaining game because of how different the factions are and how different their specialist units are, like the chrono tanks and the advanced chronosphere versus the Iron Curtain and the Tesla units of Russia. It's a really nice opposites, very different. It's a nice matchup. They're very different factions, but it seems to have a quiet point. We're only at 2.5 minutes, but we're at a bit of a quiet phase. I've decided not to go straight for this and make this vulnerable like usual. I thought, right, I'll just hold on and protect this rather than end up, say, trying to take that, losing an engineer and having this captured or destroyed. I thought, no, I'll hold on to what I've got and then just see what the enemy presence is like. I've sent out a few rifles, look. There, I'm trying to get into the habit of sending rifles ahead of all my unit groups, tell me what's going on. My opponent's got his ranger, and you can see how nice the view range is from a ranger look. It's one of the best early game units for view range, very nice, and his engineers sat in that. I've sent this rifle here, this guy, and I've spotted the ranger. He got away nice, just with his engineer. Now let's see his reaction to seeing my units there. Is he falling back with much? He's sending that for repairs, but it doesn't look like he's got any reaction to seeing these units. So I thought I'd make an early attack on his ore trucks here. Perhaps should have moved in a little closer before I opened fire, but yeah, thought I'd take that out. And then I saw these units arrive, tried to back away, save those assets, but he's pursuing me there, look. Yeah, and these units, they actually, I could have gone this way instead, but they are cutting me off. I've only got one rocket soldier left in that group. And I wanted to save this, look, it's nearly been destroyed. So that's why the APC wasn't screening that infantry. Let's see what army value we're left at. 7,700 to me, 9,900, 10,000 to my enemy, 7,800 to me. My opponent's expanding. He's set his second MCV up there at the first expansion. I'm doing the same. My opponent's a bit hard up for cash, but I've got my refinery ready. My opponent's about to place his. There we go. It's ready, placed. Now I'm always conscious of reinforcing this area, but I'm setting up a Gren drop. These are Grenadiers, look. As soon as I've got 4 or 5, I'll put them in there. I do like to use the APC to scout ahead of units and stuff, but obviously if it's got Grenadiers in it, I need to be careful. But he got his Ranger, and this is obviously on shift command. And sadly, his engineer was lost. But now I've got my next refinery, it's actually ready to place. So that's why he's scouting ahead, and he is going to place the refinery. A few units there move forward to try and target my oil derrick, and my opponent's moving forward with his expansions. I usually go up here and then down. Now the thing is, it is actually better to expand forward first, because Caution always says this, and he's correct, because if I'm pushed back from here, I can fall back to this patch. It's a backup. But with my build order as it is, I do like to place a refinery here, just get something set up so that when this is gathered and completely mined out, there's something still going. And then I use barracks to reinforce this area here. My opponent's got a small group of units. He's waiting for ore trucks to stray into this field here, this part of the field, which they soon will, I'm assuming. I've got my Grenadier drop, but they didn't take out the power plant, and now in a moment he'll be back up to full power. He's in low power for the moment, but that's, you know, very brief. And he's attacked here. I saw these units and responded, but now he's hitting me here, so I put the flame tower. I've dealt with them now. I sent a counter-attack because I didn't want to just sit there, but he's hitting me with this. They've arrived, so I've got to get my oil trucks out of there. And I chose to actually still attack. I always think that's better. Now there's a couple of oil trucks knocked out straight away, so there you go, have that back. And then these guys, I thought, right, I know these are here, but I thought, right, now I'll attack again and send a small force with some units that I'm building. You see, I'm building infantry here. I can place base defences, so I've got an attack on the go, but it ran into trouble. Yeah, it did. It ran into trouble, so I had to fall back, and these units sadly suffered. These guys overran this position. I've destroyed another ore truck, and I've overrun this expansion. So he's noticed, he's packing up his MCV, so he's running, and it just gets away, look. I've had, you know, problems with my opponent's MCVs just getting away. Now, this enemy force is here. And I don't know where it is, but he's discovered it. So I've got these ready in position, and these guys made it. What I should have done is left them here, because I'm about to place a refinery. And there you go, I have done some damage, and forced him to move his MCV, but he's repairing it. And look, I thought, if he's moving forward, I'll meet him with a force, and with my MCV. Now I've just placed that refinery, I'm defeating this force here comfortably, but now I've placed that refinery, I see this has hit me straight away, and I've got ore trucks on the way to it, so I have to turn around immediately, but still deal with that. I can't take forces away from an engagement. Look, I didn't win by much anyway, and look, he's overrun the defenders I've prepared. They should have been sent back, but I need to get out of there with this and send these guys. Now, I was distracted, look, so I haven't set this up. But my opponent has reinforced this. That's solid. I can't break that with what I've got here. Now I'm attacking base defences. I've got a barracks, but no. I can see his response. He immediately knows what's going on, and he can attack. But he didn't press his attack here. He obviously saw that I had enough. So that's at least I held that position. I'm at a 10,000 value army, my opponent's at 17,000, and he's overrun that forward expansion and he's mining there again. But now I'm guessing he's moving for this one down here. Yeah, he is. So I'll have a look at the... we're at 12,000 value army to me, 20,000. 13,000 to me, 20,000 to my opponent in army value. And the economy, I'm at 0 cash. I've been forced off all my expansions. I've lost all but 4 of my ore trucks, so I've lost like half. But I did kill some of the enemies in return, so he wasn't completely unscathed. But my flanking force here ran into this little group. Now, I know I can defeat it, but I notice I've got 1 tank with it, look. That's not good, and now because he's seen that, he's already placing defences, primary construction, infantry, so these guys are in for a world of hurt, basically. And look, he's reinforced that, and like, I've got problems because my cash has run out. Like, you know, I am mining, and I've got this now, but it's nothing to stop it. Yeah, you see, this force has run into a prepared defence that's going to mow them down. And I'm at 0 cash look now. He's destroyed this expansion already, and I needed that. That's what I've been building. I needed it. Now this has got to fall back, and I thought, well, I'll start mining this again. But yeah, he's also attacking here. Look, nice. He's destroyed another of my ore trucks. So I'm down to 3, because this one's running away and made it. But I'm thinking, once he's harvested that, he's going to go back up here to this ore refinery. That's, you know, what I'm guessing. These forces, they fell back from here, so that's all that's left alive. Now I thought, right, I'm going to attack. So, and destroy some more of his ore trucks. I can't just let it, you know, give up. I've got to, so I split up my force. I know where he's focusing his main strength, so I thought, right, I'll smash what I'm assuming is a new expansion here, and I was correct. And I thought, I'll send these 3 tanks up to destroy his first expansion. This force ran into the enemy. So they're getting out of there, look. And I've overrun this. He's sent his MCV back, and I've destroyed an ore truck. Then the refinery and another ore truck's had to turn back. He's attacking here, but I've got defences fighting off his infantry quite nicely. Yeah, that's okay, that. I'm repairing it, so I'm aware of what's going on. Now, this force has to get out of there, yeah, because the enemy's responded. But I've sent them on a route to attack these ore trucks. And I've still been collecting the oil derrick. But yeah, they couldn't arrive in time to use the view range of the oil derrick, sadly. I thought that, you know, that's what I was going to do. Was the idea behind that. And there you go, I've caught his... Oh no, he's got them out of there. And oh yeah, I've sent them on, look, that's something. Yes, and he's followed them with this army. And I've got another small force. I'm sending these through the middle of the map towards his main base because I didn't expect them to find resistance. And they bumped into... Yeah, he's caught that group there, look. But I found this power plant and thought, alright, I'll knock that out. My opponent's not doing great for cash now. I've damaged his income. He's got these mining here, but there isn't a great deal. If I just had a... Yeah, look, I'm sending another force. But this... tank, I tried to get him out of there. Yes, he's made it. These guys have been sent to finish my home base, and I thought, right, I've got to send both my MCVs. Now that means I can't build, but I didn't have enough cash anyway, so I'm letting it build up a little bit, what small amount I've got, and then moving up this way to set up another expansion. I sent this force hopefully to hit an enemy, a vulnerable enemy ore truck or something, but sadly they bumped into this small group. Now the enemy's army size is going to have, yeah, skyrocketed. Look, 34,000 to them, 3,000, 1,800 to me, and he's hit my main base. I'm aware of that I can't stop it, so I'm salvaging what assets I can. Look, dumping my ore, getting them out of here, and now both my MCVs are building. So I've got assets here, look, although I know I'm going to lose them, but I am building refineries, and I've got my barracks to rally my troops here, look, so they're not wasted in battle now. But, you know, you can tell, you can read the situation. There's my ore truck there lost. This one made it out, this one did, so I can then drop the ore off here and harvest it here, because I thought, why set up my refinery there? They're gonna look there next. So I thought I'd put it here, but he's got this force here, look. So that's a shame. There you go, and I called it here because I couldn't go on. But there you go. There's a post for you, and yeah. So I got beaten there. I'll go through the graphs and charts. It was a fun game, but I was like, nah, I didn't. I knew I'd quite about a fair way through. For a fair way, you know, through that game. For a lot of it, I knew that I was in big trouble for a lot of that game. Most of the way through it, I was like, oh, this is a bad situation. But there's my army graph, so you can see that was right. Look, up to 8 minutes, I'm fine. And then some combat starts, and then I'm in a bad situation. Up to the second half of the battle, so there you go. But here's my earnings graph. I had a nice earnings spike in the middle there. That was quite nice. I just never got a chance to get my any tech into the game, and my opponent didn't need it, but I just I should have targeted those ore trucks sooner, because it seemed quite effective. It knocked out my opponent's cash supply. Look, that must be where that must be where I went on those eco raids. And I should have done it earlier. That was where I made my mistake, by not doing that earlier. Because I had a couple of effective attacks. It was okay. I could have hanged into that game, hung in there and fought on. And maybe even won. You know, it was just a couple of errors, and he was actually ready for a few of my attacks. I should have done better and not run into those traps. That would have helped. But there's the earnings graph there for you. It's an interesting one, that. And my opponent's finishing army was a good one. He's got 117 rifles, 45 rockets, 17 heavy tanks, and he's got his ranger, so that's probably survived the whole game. Maybe not, but it probably has. And then combat, he's got a 40,000 value army, look. I destroyed 199 units, he destroyed 287, so he's ahead in what he destroyed. I destroyed 49,000 in value, he destroyed 85,000 in value. It's because of the structures I lost. I lost 29, he lost 8. So, you know, my assets were blasted apart, his weren't. There's no support powers in effect. Production still going for my opponent. And the economy tab, I spent 96, he spent 119,000. And he ended up with 9 harvesters. And he still has 2 oil derricks, although I did have mine till quite late in the game, and this one survived as well in the bottom corner. That oil derrick survived. So there's the cash situation. So like I say, the eco raids I did launch in that desperate moment, they were effective. They did stop my opponent's cash supply. So it would have been nice to have done that earlier. Here's the basic charts. I'm at 30 actions per minute dead on, my opponent at 41. So there's the basics, graphs and charts there for you. I hope you enjoyed that game. I thought it was alright, nice battle. So, you know, until next time, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like the game and like what you saw, give us a sub and a like. And until next time, take good care of yourselves. And for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.